please find your seats. We will begin in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin. Please take your seats.
Hey, everyone. Hey. Hey, everyone, and welcome to F8. We're really glad to have you here with us today. Last year, we introduced a different kind of F8. The new F8 isn't about some big new product announcement or change in direction. It's about bringing our whole community together to talk about how we can help you build, grow, and monetize your apps. And we've focused on these themes a lot over the last year, and our developer community has made some incredible progress. We've doubled the size of our developer community across the whole range of Facebook services. There are now hundreds of thousands of developers building on Facebook's tools, including more than half outside of the US. More than 30 million apps and sites have been built using Facebook's tools. Last year, we drove more than 3.5 billion app installs. People shared more than 50 billion pieces of content from apps that they're using to their friends on Facebook. We've paid out more than $8 billion to developers in the last 5 years. And more than 90% the top 100 apps on iOS and Android are integrated with Facebook. Because of all the apps and services that you're all building, the Facebook ecosystem is stronger than ever. So I want to take a moment to thank you for being a part of our community and for choosing to work with us. You're the ones who are connecting the world, and we're really proud to serve you. So today, I want to talk about how our community is going to continue making progress. And I want to start with the two major themes that we introduced at last year's F8. The first theme is stability. Because to help you build, grow, and monetize your apps, you need to be able to really rely on our platform. So last year at F8, we committed to making our platform really, really stable. And we even changed our mantra from move fast and break things to move fast with stable infra, because we recognize that when you're operating at scale, stability is how you move quickly. We introduced a 2-year stability guarantee for all of our major and core APIs. We committed to fixing all major bugs within 48 hours, and I'm proud to say that we hit both of these things. We also wanted to deal with the smaller bugs that you report, so we had an internal goal to reduce the number of bugs in the system by more than 66%, and we hit that. And this year we want to go even further. So starting today, we're making a new commitment to fix more than 90% of the small bugs that you report within 30 days. And that's in addition to the 48-hour commitment on fixing any major bugs. We're also introducing a bug dashboard so you can track how we're performing against this goal. And when you submit a bug, you'll know when you can expect it to get fixed. All right, so we're continuing to build on this important theme of stability for our community. All right, now let's talk about our next theme. In all of our products and our platform, we want to make sure that we always put people first. You know, we're all here to serve the people who are using our products. So we need to make sure that we always put them first by making sure that we keep everyone safe and by giving people more control over their experiences. Because when people feel good about their privacy and their security, that's when they're open to trying new experiences, like all of the apps that you're all building. So here's how we're approaching this. With Facebook Login, our aim is to give people complete control over the information that they share with apps. Facebook Login continues to be by far the most popular way that people want to log into apps. And today, more than 80% of the top 100 apps use Facebook Login. Last year at F8, we introduced a new Facebook Login flow that gives people even more control over the information that they're sharing with apps. We created a simple review process to make sure that developers aren't asking for more permissions than they really need. And since making this change, apps are now requesting 50% fewer permissions than they were before and are seeing more than 10% increases in the rate of people logging in. Now, over the next month, more apps are going to migrate over to the new login. And we think that these changes are going to make people feel a lot more comfortable and make the ecosystem a lot healthier overall. Now, another effort that we're focused on is helping developers protect people's security. Last month, we announced a new platform called Threat Exchange that allows companies to exchange information about malware and cyber attacks. Malware is getting more sophisticated, and it's increasingly challenging for any one company or developer to keep up with all the different threats that are out there. And we saw this firsthand last year when there was an attack that was spreading spam on Facebook, and anyone who came in contact with it had a really bad experience. Now, when we investigated this, we found that the attacker's infrastructure was actually hosted on the platforms of other technology companies in our industry. Now, the reason why attackers do this is because they assume that developers aren't communicating and sharing with each other. So in this case, we just called up these other companies and we stopped the attack. But this taught us a bigger lesson, and it's what motivated us to create Threat Exchange. Now, we're growing this slowly, but we've already heard from thousands of developers who want to join. These are some of the folks who are already in. But we've heard from a lot of folks who want to join from industries as different as health and finance and media and retail. And we're going to be adding more developers soon. So if you think you have some security information that could benefit the whole community, let us know. All right, so these are some of the ways that we're working to create a more stable platform and to put people first. These are the themes that we started talking about at last year's F8, and we're going to continue focusing on them to serve our community better and to help all of our developers build, grow, and monetize your apps. All right, now let's talk a bit about the future. Over the last few years, Facebook has really evolved in our approach to how we connect the world. Facebook used to be this single blue app, and it did a lot of different things. Now Facebook is a family of apps. More than 1.4 billion people use the core Facebook app, but also more than 700 million people use Groups, and 700 million use WhatsApp, and 600 million use Messenger, and more than 300 million people use Instagram every month. Now, we're building this family so we can offer unique, world-class experiences for all of the ways that people want to share. Because people need to be able to express everything that matters to them with all of the different groups of people that they care about. This is how we give people the power to share and to make the world more open and connected. Now, there are so many more ways that people want to share, that this family is just going to keep on growing. But it's important to keep this shift in mind because moving from just being a single service to a family of world-class apps for helping people share in different ways is the biggest shift that we've made in our strategy of helping to connect people in many years. Now, this also reflects the fact that the content that people want to share is changing too. Over time, there's this really clear trend that technology gives us tools for sharing richer and richer content with an increasing frequency. So if you look back at Facebook 5 years ago, most of the content that people shared was text, right? Status updates and wall posts. Now, today, it's photos and other visual content. If you fast forward 5 years, it's going to be video. And if you look out even further beyond that, it's probably going to be even more immersive content like VR and AR. Now, at the same time as we're seeing this trend towards increasing richness of content, we're also seeing that the frequency of sharing is increasing. You know, now everyone has messaging apps and Groups apps on their phones that allow us to constantly stay connected with all the people that we care about and share many more times each day than we've been able to in the past. So this is a really big opportunity. But we can't do it alone. Because all of the different things that people want to share are happening in all of the different apps that you're building. So in order to keep up with this future, where people are going to want to share all these new kinds of content, we need to be able to build tools for you to enable people to share all of the different kinds of content that they're producing with all the people they care about. So we're going to go about doing this by preparing for a future where there are going to be all different kinds of content that people want to share to all different kinds of people. So let's get started today by, I want to show you something kind of fun. It's a bit futuristic, but it's an example of the kind of content that we expect to see in the system over time. So right now, we're at this interesting transition where we're starting to see traditional video blend with even more immersive content. Now, when you think about virtual reality, a lot of people first think about gaming. But I actually think that video is going to be even more engaging in a lot of ways. So these are spherical videos. You can move around within it, and you can change your viewing angle. And that's possible because the videos are filmed on up to 24 different cameras at once. Now, this is a new and much more immersive type of content. It's not something that you just consume passively. You're actually interacting with it, and you feel like you're there. So soon, we're going to start supporting spherical videos in News Feed. People already watch more than 3 billion videos a day in News Feed, and it's some of the most engaging content in our system. We're going to bring spherical videos to Oculus too. You're going to be able to put on your headset and just feel like you're really there. So we're actually experimenting with live spherical video here today. We have a spherical camera filming at our headquarters down in Menlo Park. So after this session is done, you can head over to our humorously and ironically named teleportation station to get a sense of what our crew down at Facebook headquarters feels about F8. All right, so now moving on, continuing this theme of all of these different kinds of content that we want to enable people to share, but moving to something that's a little bit more in the present. The next thing we want to do is make it easier for people to share all of the different kinds of content that they're creating in your apps with all of the different people they care about across the whole Facebook family of apps. So we're going to simplify our interfaces for sharing from apps to Facebook family. Now, today there are actually more than a dozen different ways that you can share from an app into Facebook. And that's because there are all these different interfaces on iOS and Android and Windows Phone and mobile web and desktop. Now, what all these different versions mean is that whatever the best version is not what everyone is using today. And we've heard this feedback very clearly from everyone in our community and our developers, that they want us to fix this. Because people want to be able to share into messages, right? People want to be able to share into groups. People never want to be surprised by what their content is going to look like when they share it. So today, we're going to fix this. We're introducing an elegant and consistent way to share from all of the different apps that you're building across the whole family of different Facebook services. So the new share sheet creates a consistent experience for everyone using apps to share with anyone they want, including in Messenger and groups. So if you want to share that run that you made with just a few people instead of all of your friends on Facebook or Instagram, now you can do that in exactly the same way that you would have previously shared into a feed. So this is just the first step towards creating better sharing experiences across this whole family of apps. And we're going to have a lot more to talk about in this vein over the coming few months. All right, now the last area that I want to talk about is focusing on building platforms across our whole family of apps. Now, one of the fastest growing and most important members of our family is Messenger. We launched Messenger about 4 years ago, and now more than 600 million people are using Messenger to communicate every month. And as Messenger has grown, we think that this service has the potential to help people express themselves in new ways, to connect hundreds of millions of new people, and to become a really important communication tool for the world. So over the last couple of years, we've been building Messenger into a service that can help you express yourself in many more ways beyond just simple text messages. We added basic staples like photos and video. We added stickers to help people easily express any emotion. We added location so that you can easily tell your friends where you are. We added voice calling recently. And now already, Messenger accounts for more than 10% of mobile VoIP calling globally, and it's growing really quickly. And we just started rolling out payments, and that was just last week. So we're continuing to develop new things, and we have a lot more planned in the months ahead. But until now, we've focused on improving Messenger by building all of these features ourselves. So today, we're going to talk about the next step in our Messenger strategy. Today, we're introducing Messenger Platform. It's a new platform that developers Messenger Platform is a new platform that developers can use to build apps that help people connect with the more than 600 million people who are using Messenger as they communicate every day. So by opening up Messenger as a platform, we're going to be able to help people express themselves in rich new ways and make their conversations better. So now there are going to be a lot of things that we can do with Messenger Platform over time. Right? This is a really exciting, big new area and opportunity. But we want to start small and focused today. So we're going to talk about two things. And the first is giving people more tools for expression. I'm going to show you quickly how this works. So we're expanding the Composer in Messenger. So now you're going to be able to easily inline find different services that help you say anything you want better. And you're going to be able to discover these services right in line, and they're going to deep link right to the App Store so that you can download them very easily. And you can create content. You can share it directly into Messenger. And what you're going to see is that your friends are going to be easily able to reply and install the apps that you're sharing with them. So here's an example of just a really quick video that we made right before this with an app called JibJab. I sent this to our developer team who's working on Facebook Platform, congratulating them on shipping this. And yeah, it's simple. It's fun. It's easy. All right, so we're really excited about about the new kinds of things and creative tools that we're going to be able to enable with Messenger Platform. And there's a lot more to do here, but we're really excited to see what you're all going to be able to do, even with these fast and simple tools that we're rolling out first. All right, now, the second thing that we want to talk about is making Messenger a place where you can easily communicate with the businesses you care about, in addition to the people you care about. So currently, if you want to get in touch with a business, most of us probably still call them. But, I don't actually know anyone who likes calling businesses, right? I mean, it's just not fast or convenient, and it definitely doesn't feel like the future. So, think about how useful it would be if you could just message a business and instantly get information about whatever you need, make a reservation, buy something in line, change shipping information in times. So today, we're introducing a way for you to communicate with businesses right through Messenger. And we think that the key to making this experience good is starting these conversations at the right time. So for example, right after you purchase something online, if you need to change your order, you're going to be able to do that right in Messenger. You're going to receive a receipt as well as shipping information. You can track your package. Helping people communicate more naturally with businesses is going to improve, I think, almost every person's life, because it's something that everyone does. So I'm really excited to see how people start to use this and businesses start to use this when we start rolling it out pretty soon. Now, we're already working with a small set of partners on this, and this is something that David is going to talk about along with the rest of Messenger platform in just a moment. All right. So those are just a few of the things that we're focused on for developers as we think about the future of sharing. And for the rest of this talk today, we're going to focus on all of the ways that you can use the Facebook family to build, grow, and monetize your apps. So now I want to hand it off to David Marcus to get us started talking about how you could do this with Messenger platform.
Thanks, Mark. Emotion and expression are core to the way we communicate every day. Even before we learn how to talk, we tap into emotions to communicate our needs. And even animals do it really well too. But over the last century and a half, we developed a lot of technologies to communicate over far distances. The telegraph, the telephone, email, and eventually text messaging. And while those inventions are great because they enable us to stay in touch with the people we care the most about, they left something behind. And that's the true capability for us to share emotions and express ourselves fully. So we were kind of a little frustrated because we were lacking on that front, and so we came up with these to compensate. And while those are good, they just don't quite cut it. So in the last 12 months, we've added a lot of capabilities to Messenger, as Mark highlighted before. But then, a few months ago, we started thinking that maybe if we teamed up with all of you in this room and developers around the world and tapped into our joint creativity, then maybe we could actually solve this problem. So today, I'm super excited to launch Messenger platform. And let me dive right into it and show you how it works. I'm just going to reopen that thread I have with Mark. I'm definitely saving this to my camera roll for what it's worth. And you'll notice that in the Composer, I have those 3 dots. So tapping on those 3 dots expands the Composer now. And now you have access to a lot of things. At the top, the apps you already have installed and that enable you to create amazing content. At the bottom, new apps that you can discover with a short description of what that app can do for you. And so in this case, I can't respond to that message from Mark with text. That would be super lame. So I'm going to go and install Giphy because I want GIFs. So tapping on the install button takes me straight into the App Store. And I can download this app and add it right there. And now I'm going to do that again. install it. And when I get it, I can actually have access to millions and millions of GIFs. In this case, I want to share a fist bump with Mark, so I'm going to go and type fist bump, and then I have hundreds and hundreds of GIFs of cool fist bumps. And then I pick the one I want, and you'll notice that at the bottom of that preview, there's a big Send to Messenger button. And that's the new optimized flow that we're launching today. So tapping on this takes me straight back into the conversation I have with Mark. So I don't have to fumble around trying to find who I need to send that to. I'm right where I need to be. I have this big, beautiful preview of the content I'm about to share, and I can just tap on Send GIF, and I'm done. So, you know, that's really, really... So I showed you how you can discover new apps and add a ton of capabilities to Messenger, and now I've added the ability for me to send awesome GIFs. And I don't know about you, but I find GIFs to be really awesome. They just make the world a little bit better. So, there's more, because not only do we give you developers, app developers around the world, distribution and discovery inside of Messenger, but also we give you attribution. And let me show you what that looks like. So I go back to that now famous thread with Mark, and as you can see, he sent me another piece of content. And there are three things that I want to highlight here at the bottom of that content. One is the app icon, the second one is the app name, and the third one is a reply link. So now I have the Legend app installed, and that's why I have a reply link. If I didn't have that app installed, it would be an install link. And I could go straight to the App Store and reply with the same type of content I just received. But since I have the app, I'm just going to tap on Reply, and now I'm in the Legends app. And this is an amazing app that enables me to stylize and customize text and add animations and add photos. And I can pick the animation I like and customize it with the colors I want. In this case, I'm going to try to make it as close to the Messenger blue I can. There we go. And then hit Messenger, and I have this, again, preview inside of the right thread, and I can share right there and then. Cool. So I'm super happy because we have worked very, very hard with a lot of amazing partners to launch today with a lot of capabilities on Messenger. And I want to highlight two. One is ESPN, that built a really awesome curated content app where you can find all of the relevant sports content of that week or that day. It's just in time before the end of March Madness, great ways to start conversation or bashing the rivals team. J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot Company, the production company, built a special effects app to give you the power of Hollywood special effects in your hands. So we're goofing around with this last week on campus, and it looks like this, basically. So now you have Hollywood special effects in your hands, and you can blow the friends' minds with it and share it with them, and it just makes for so much more engaging and fun conversations. But there are more. There are over 40 apps that are launching today or in the days to come. And I got to tell you, with the team, we've been playing with some of these apps for the last few weeks and few months. Some of our conversations are simply hilarious, but at least all of them are fun and engaging and really, really much better. So how do you get started? It's super easy to add the Send to Messenger flow. And we have an SDK available for you today, so you can start integrating. And it's available at messenger.com/platform. But don't go there just right now, because there's one more thing that I want to cover today. We talked about how technology enabled us to communicate with one another better, but also left something behind. And we feel that the same is true for commerce and shopping. Shopping used to look like this. You would walk into a store, the shopkeeper would know you on a first-name basis, and vice versa, You would have a nice conversation about the product you wanted to buy and other various things of life. And then when you were ready to check out, you would hand over the cash, and you'd be done. And while this is not exactly convenient because you had to physically go to every place to buy things that you needed, you at least had a personal and delightful experience. And I feel that we've lost this with e-commerce. So I think it's time for us to reinvent how people and businesses communicate. And today we want to take the first step on that long journey of reinvention. When you buy things online, you receive a lot of emails. You create an account, you receive an email confirmation. You buy something, you receive another email. It ships, you receive another email. It's delivered, you receive another email. And all of these emails are actually separate threads that are created at each of these events. And the best thing you can do with an email is click on a link that takes you to a website where most often you need to authenticate to complete the task you wanted to complete with that said merchant. And so that's pretty inconvenient on desktop. It's almost barely usable on mobile. And lots of companies have tried to build chat services and a bunch of other things, but they're not that good, frankly. So here's our take of at least the very first step we can take in that direction. I want to buy that shirt on Everlane. So now I'm going to add it to my shopping cart. And what you'll notice here is something new. The option for me to receive instant shipping notifications and an enhanced receipt, and I'll talk about that in a second, right in Messenger. So of course I'm going to keep that checked out, and I pay. And at the end, after I've purchased, I receive this confirmation that my identity has been matched with that order. And we do that because most browsers out there have an open session with Facebook in the back end at almost all times. And so we can match the identity of the shopper to the order, and then that's where the magic begins. Your phone wakes up, and you receive a notification about that purchase. And when you go back to Messenger, now you see a new thread with, in this case, Everlane. And we wanted to have businesses be first-class citizens like people, because those are brands that you care about. You just shopped with them. They're not random businesses contacting you. They're brands that you just shopped with. So now I open that thread, and I see that big, beautiful receipt with the photo of the product you just bought. And now, let's say I had buyer's remorse or I wanted to change the order. I could tap on that receipt and change my order. But in this case, I love that shirt, so I want to know when it ships. So when it ships, I get this nice notification with a map, and I can go back to my life, do the things I want to do. But if and when I'm truly anxious to know where my package is, to me that's the way it works with gadgets, but I go back to that thread, and I can see the map being updated in almost real time with where my package is. So that's good. And then you receive a confirmation that it's delivered. Now let's imagine that something went wrong with the order. The sizing was not right, it's not exactly what you ordered. So you could now interact with the business right there. In this case, I love this shirt so much that I want to know if they have one in black, so I'm going to ask that to Everlane. Right there. And the nice thing about this is Everlane knows who I am, knows what I bought, has the context of the purchase, because all of this exists in one canonical thread where you have all of the information that you need, and the business has all relevant information about the purchase you're talking about. And so, since I have a card on file with Everlane, buying that black shirt now is going to be as easy as this. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We're reintroducing personal back to shopping online and on mobile. So we're launching this in the next few weeks with awesome partners, Everlane, Zulily. The customer service is powered by Zendesk. But we're going to add a lot more partners in the months to come, and we would love to welcome you on this journey with us. So please visit messenger.com/business to get started. I want to close by saying that all of us on the Messenger team are super excited because we truly feel that together we have a shot at reinventing how eventually 1 billion people communicate with every day. Thank you. And now I want to call Ilya to talk about Parse.
Thanks, David. I'm really excited to give you all an update on Parse. Apps have become one of the most common ways people communicate and express themselves all over the globe. But so many of them launch every single day. So it's become even more important for you to get from the idea that you have into the App Store as fast as possible. You need to focus on the experience of your app, the design, the interaction, the functionality that keeps people coming back day in and day out. These are the things that really matter, and these are the things that allow people to connect with the world around them. But in practice, you're probably worrying about a whole lot of other things. Your app needs servers, it needs databases, APIs, SDKs, security, identity, all these things. The list goes on and on and on. And so that's where Parse comes in. We take care of all of that for you, so you can focus on making an amazing app and realizing your unique vision. And many of you are doing just that. Over 400,000 of you, to be exact. Our community of developers who value shipping great experiences and doing it quickly has grown tremendously in the past year. And it's gotten even more diverse. In the last year, 85% of the top apps built on Parse were actually built outside the US. So you all are having a global impact. And it's a big impact. Last month, we saw over 500 million instances of Parse-powered apps talk to our servers. These are real people enabled by you, enabled to communicate in new ways, create in new ways, and ultimately connect with each other in new ways. And speaking of new ways, you just saw some new stuff. Many of the apps built on the Messenger platform were actually built on Parse. One of my favorites is called Dubsmash. Lets you record really fun videos, like this one that my colleague Deb sent me of her kids.
Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore.
Super cute, right? And this app is killing it. They had 10 million installs in their very first month, all powered by Parse. Another one that's really fun is called Stashify. Lets me create fun photos, like this one of hipster Mark. And this company makes all kinds of apps. They can turn you into a werewolf, a zombie, anything you like. And it seems really silly, right? But people love this stuff. People love to interact with their friends through fun photos. These apps have a combined 55 million installs on iOS. Big impact. The Messenger team themselves built an app on Parse. It lets you slap stickers on photos. So this is the team, naturally in their sticker form. And they were on a tight deadline. They had this idea just a week before the App Store shut down for the holidays last year. Parse gave them a way to store metadata, a way to send push notifications, and a way to deal with crash reports. So they focused on the app itself and got the job done just in the nick of time. It was really exciting to see it happen. For apps that already have a back end, coming from companies that are more established, we're seeing great adoption of push notifications on Parse. All kinds of companies are using Parse Push to engage with their audiences and keep them up to date. I don't know about you, but I hate walking around airports. And I hate those stupid monitors that always inevitably send me the opposite direction. So companies like Orbitz are making life's little moments that much easier by giving you the right information at the right time using push notifications. Companies like CBS, media companies, are pushing breaking news and great new content to their audience. And products like Deezer connect people in the notifications themselves. All in all, apps using Parse Push reach over 150 million unique people every single day. And we send over 4 billion notifications every month. I'm really thrilled with the progress we've made. It's been a great year for us. Lots of growth, lots of great new products. But I want to talk about what's next, where the world's going, and where Parse is going. So back in 2011, when we first got started, the world of tools for developers was focused on this: browser apps, primarily for people's laptops and desktops. People wanted to build great cross-platform apps, but they didn't really have the tools to make it easy for them. So that's where our idea came from, and that's what we worked on for the last 4 years. It's 2015 now, and this world is getting better. There's still work to do, but it's gotten a lot better. We're also seeing a shift. We're seeing many more devices come online. Some people estimate 5 billion devices are online right now. We'll get to 25 billion in the next 5 years. Microprocessors and connectivity will be in everything. Everything from your home to your bicycle and maybe even your pants. These are all going to be connected. This is the world we're going to live in. And I know this is inevitable because I'm seeing it happen already on Parse. Companies like Chamberlain are using us to build great connected experiences for your home. If you have one of their garage door openers, I'm sure many of you do, you can download their app and get a notification when your door opens or closes. You can control it remotely. And that's pretty amazing. And it's happening organically. I can assure you guys, I didn't spend the last year thinking about garage door technology. What I did do was build great tools, and great tools enable great innovation all over the place. So I'm really excited today to announce a set of new SDKs for the Internet of Things. We want to be there with you when you start experimenting with this world. We want to be there to make sure you don't spend your time on the wrong challenges and reinventing the wheel all over again. So to give you an example, I'm going to build a device that lets me know when to water my plants at home. I am terrible at this. I need all the help I can get. And I'm a nerd, so I'm going to build a device instead of just thinking about it. So I can prototype it in Arduino, and I can take the readings from the sensor and push it to the cloud with just a few lines of code. And then the computation to send me a push notification is just a few lines more. So it's just like any other Parse SDK. Simple to get started and simple to use. And maybe one day, my neighbors like this thing, they're jealous of my efficiency in plant watering. Maybe you all want it. So I'm going to mass manufacture this. We're also releasing reference SDKs so that chipset manufacturers can bake in support for Parse in their products. So one day, you'll be able to go from your idea in your garage to actually the factory using Parse. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. One of you is going to build something that I carry around with me or have in my home in just a few short years. We're also launching a bunch of other new features. Things like new cloud code functionality, new security functionality, and integration with React, and many more things. Check those out on our blog or go to our sessions at the rest of the conference. With that, I want to say thank you, and I want to turn it over to Deb to talk about platform.
Thanks, Aaliyah. It is so great to be back here with you guys at F8. Our goal with Facebook Platform is to help you build, grow, and monetize your apps across all devices and all platforms. So let's start with builds. Last year at F8, we introduced a new deep linking standard for apps called App Links. App Links makes it so much easier for developers to link content from one app directly into another app. And today, more than 1,000 apps are using App Links. And together, they have created over 7 billion App Links-enabled URLs. This is a much cleaner, much easier experience for people, especially when they want to switch between apps. And it's a standard that we can use all together to make mobile better for people. If App Links is about connecting people to each other, Social Plugins is about connecting your apps and websites to the billion people on Facebook. We first introduced social plugins in the form of the like button in 2010. And now millions and millions of apps and websites are using them. Today, we're launching completely new versions of our Comments plugin and our embedded video plugin. For any of you who know me, you won't be surprised to know that I'm always talking about parenting. In fact, you saw my kids earlier. I am a voracious reader of parenting articles online. So when someone sent me this article on HuffPo telling me about how to raise a kind daughter, I wanted to comment on it. And it's pretty simple with the Comments plugin. But you know, there was one problem, which is there is a great conversation on the HuffingtonPost.com, but there was the same conversation happening on Facebook. The new version of the Comments plugin, when I comment on an article on Huffington Post, the same comment will now appear on the Facebook page as well. And that means when my sister Caroline replies, we'll see a conversation together in the same place. So for publishers, this means much greater engagement in their media. And for people, it means a richer, more unified conversation. This is currently in beta with a select group of partners, and we'll be rolling this out more broadly shortly. So next, let's talk about video. We have seen a huge growth in the number of native videos shared on Facebook over the past couple years. And every single day, people are viewing more than 3 billion videos on Facebook. Now, we all know that native video works great on Facebook, but you also probably know that it's really hard to share these videos on other sites. So today, we're introducing the Facebook Embedded Video Player, which makes it really easy to take any video that's publicly shared on Facebook and put it on your site. It's super simple. You just click on Embed Video, you take the line of code, and you drop it right into your site. This greatly increases the number of videos that you can pull from. And if you're posting video content on Facebook, this dramatically increases the potential reach of your content. The embedded video player is now available today to everyone. So you built a great app or website, and the next thing you need to do is help it to grow. And we can help you do that with app ads. To date, we have driven over 1 billion paid app installs, and more than 40,000 apps have used app ads to help build their audience and grow their app. But there's a lot more we can do to help you succeed. And it's really important that we continue to do that, because a lot of you ask, you know, how can I understand what's happening in my app? Who's coming back? Who's leaving? Why are people dropping off? It's a problem we face every single day at Facebook, and it's something which we struggle with. So here's an example of the search team. They have been trying to improve the search experience on mobile for some time. And so they looked at the data, they looked at the analytics, and they saw what worked and what didn't work. They tried testing things like changing the search bar size and the location. They added new features, such as things like recent searches. By improving the search user experience for people, they were able to triple the amount of searches on mobile in just 12 months. And they did this with analytics, by looking at data and measuring the impact and looking at what people wanted. And today, we want to give that kind of power to you. So we're introducing Facebook Analytics for Apps. Facebook Analytics for Apps helps you understand how people use your apps so you can build better experiences. And now you can see how often people are coming back to your app, or where they're dropping off in the flow, or whether your marketing campaigns are working for you. This product is different in 2 ways. One is it's people-focused. We give you a single place to understand how people, in aggregate, are using your app. And 2, it's cross-device. We give you the ability to analyze people who are using apps and websites on multiple devices. So you can see whether you have 3 distinct audiences, one on tablet, one on mobile, one on desktop, or whether you have a single, smaller, but much more highly engaged audience visiting you on all 3. So let's take a look at how this works in practice. Online retailer Zulily was one of our beta partners for this product. And as you know, for online retail, understanding who comes to the app and who ends up converting is the lifeblood of their business. Using Facebook apps for analytics, they found something interesting. They found that for every 10 men and 10 women who come into their app, 4 women would add something to cart versus 2 men. But the conversion flow from there was exactly the same, 50%. So given this insight, Zulily could do one of 2 things. One is add more items that are appealing to men, so they add more items to cart. Or 2, focus their marketing dollars on women, where they have the best return on investment. With these types of aggregated insights, they can now test and learn how to make their app more appealing to their specific audience. And with Facebook apps, analytics for apps, they can now measure the success of their ad campaigns across networks and their apps across all devices. And they can do it in a single dashboard. So if you're using app events, you can start using Facebook Analytics for apps today. And best of all, it's free. So finally, we want to help you monetize your app. And we want to help you build sustainable businesses for the long term. Last year at F8, we introduced the Audience Network, an easy way for developers and publishers to monetize their apps by showing Facebook ads. A large number of apps already use the Audience Network, and they've generated millions of dollars to help them grow their businesses. The best part of Audience Network is native ads. Native ads match the look and feel of the app. In this case, PixArt, which has a beautiful photography newsfeed. And because it matches look and feel, native ads drive better performance for advertisers, higher yields for publishers, and a much better experience for people. Ads are now supporting the experience, not interrupting it. And the results show that. Native ads are more than half of the Audience Network today, and they have an average CPM that's 7 times higher than banner ads. In fact, the Audience Network also benefits advertisers. For example, Rosetta Stone, they saw a 40% decrease in the cost per conversion than other ad networks. And that kind of performance is not unique at all. And now we are taking it a step further. Last year, LiveRail joined the Facebook family. LiveRail helps publishers and developers monetize video content on the web and mobile. And it's a technology that powers great ads businesses at premium video publishers like the Daily Motion. With LiveRail, publishers and developers can efficiently manage all of their video inventory, whether it's direct sold or ads from other ad networks. But today, we are excited to announce that LiveRail will now help publishers also monetize mobile display ads as well. And that includes the ads from the Audience Network. The new LiveRail excels at managing the native ads, the kinds that we were talking about that work so well on the Audience Network. And there's one more thing. One of the reasons ads work so well on Facebook is because they're uniquely relevant to their audience. And today, we're extending that capability, that people-based approach to monetization, to all publishers and developers on the LiveRail network. And what that means for publishers and developers is that they can manage their ads with a variety of sources, but they can also get the best monetization possible. For advertisers, this means that ads are delivering to the right audience, leading to a higher return on investment. And for people, it means much better and much more relevant ads. So anyone interested in learning more about the new LiveRail, please sign up here. I know I went through a ton of information, so I'm going to be around the next couple days if you have anything you want to talk about. But thank you so much for being a part of Facebook's platform. Now, back to Mark.
Thanks, Deb. So that's how we're thinking about the future of sharing and how you can use Facebook's family to build, grow, and monetize your apps. You know, we're all really lucky. We live at this amazing time in the world. You know, as the internet spreads and as phones spread, people are getting the power to share and express themselves in all these new ways. And that's the basis for forming stronger relationships and building better businesses. And all of you are the ones who are building the services that are unleashing this new wave of expression. And it's really an honor for us to serve you and to be on this journey together. So thank you. So in the next decade, we're going to be able to build some amazing things together. And tomorrow we have a great keynote as well with Facebook CTO Mike Schrepfer and Michael Abrash, the chief scientist at Oculus. And they're going to talk about some of the longer-term efforts that we're working on to help connect everyone in the world, and it's going to be awesome, so I encourage you all to come out for that. But most importantly, I just want to thank you for being a part of our community. The work that we're doing is really awesome and important for the world. Now, thank you. Let's go connect the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, please exit through the doors on the right side of the room. Lunch will be served in front of the festival pavilion, and breakout sessions will start at 12 noon. Thank you very much.